I know that seems wrong, but assuming we don't all get nuked, I'm excited for World War III. And here's my logic on this. Basically, I don't like the status quo, and I think for most people in America, the status quo is not good. This at least gives us an opportunity for real change. It's ours for the taking if we want to take it. The amount of shit that's going to occur if World War III happens will pretty much mean that the Democrats never get to run anything again for a while. And honestly, I think it's going to get to the point to where I don't know. Either we're going to negotiate a peace with China eventually, or we're going to glass them. It's the only way this ends. It was always that. We always knew it was that. I've been eyeing China as someplace to invade since I was fucking 5 years old. I hope we do it. I want to see Xi Jinping's head on a spear. I'd like to put it there myself, to be honest. I keep training physically. I've been doing that for forever, and like hormones are helping quite a bit. Like a lot of people don't understand me or what I have going on, but I'm kind of just fucked up in general. Genetic anomaly. Actually, female hormones is making me lose weight and gain muscle. I know that's hard to believe, and like it's not everywhere. I lost a shitload of muscle in my arms, and I loved it. My hands look so much fucking better now. Like I think that's one of the things about the transgender thing that like a lot of guys don't get is like I would like to be skinny and fit. I don't want to be muscly, and if that means I die in World War III, so be it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I got a pair of fucking stripper boots and an M16. Come get me, China. It'd be really cool to go to Thailand or the Philippines. Those places are gonna be fucking lit with World War III going on. It's gonna be fucking, you know. I don't even want to say what it's gonna be in fucking Bangkok, but legit, just put it that way. Fucking cocaine getting done off ladyboys' dicks 24/7 until the war's over. I think that's where I need to go. Fit in Thailand. Not really. I would stand out like crazy, but like I stand out like crazy no matter where I am. Like this is the nature of being a fucking 6'5" woman. Although it is kind of awesome when men fear me. There are some men that legitimately quake at my approach or whatever, and it's fucking hilarious. I think they're the ones that secretly want a Amazon mommy to, you know, put on a strap on and hold them down. It's my thought, in theory, whatever. Fuck it, I'm smoking. My cat's running all over the bed. Air conditioner's still out. I haven't called the AC people yet because, to be honest, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm kind of nocturnal anyway. I have an air conditioner for during the day while I'm asleep. And at night, in here, it's fucking like chill as fuck. So, I have shit that I need to do before I get that fucking air conditioner fixed. And I'm just waiting to do that, basically. And it's not a money thing. It's you know, I'm kind of a weird artist with a house full of guns, and it takes me a little bit to have air conditioning repair people in my house. My living room is just like AR-15s and swords and knives and pirate flags and cans of paint, and it's a mess. I need to do something about that, but like, I also kind of love it being that way. Like, this is where I want to have my cabin that is my little perfect cabin that is basically it's my bedroom. It's my bedroom with maybe like a place to watch TV. And then I'd like to have several other buildings. And one of those buildings is going to be like a blacksmith shop, right? One of those buildings is going to be like a living room with a couple of guest bedrooms and a bathroom on it or something. And then the other one, I want to be what my living room is now, which is controlled chaos. You know, the kind of place where you can smoke weed or a cigar and no one cares. The kind of place where you can put a drink on any table and it doesn't fucking matter. The kind of place where if I wanted to ash a cigar on the floor, I could. Freedom. That's what I'm describing here. And, you know, maybe that's not for everybody. But I definitely want to make a smoke room, bunker, podcasting studio armory that is this. Or I'm not going to ash cigars on the floor, but you could if you wanted to. You'd barely notice. That kind of a place. Not that it's dirty or whatever, but just like I want it built like with a wood floor. What I want to do is like dig into the ground, like however deep it needs to be, and like a big enough area to do like a 20 by 40-foot room. So you just have plenty of fucking space in there. And then build like a sandbag bunker buried into like a hobbit home kind of a thing with a standard door of some sort. That way it's kind of hidden off in the woods, whatever. You know, no one would know it's there. It's going to have a lot of valuables in it. And it's like, you know, the secret clubhouse bunker kind of thing. It's where the Wolverines meet to launch their fucking secret plans. Blazer. It's basically who I'm talking to now. My buddy Blazer listens to most of these, and I really like this idea. And like, I know that like it can't be completely out of control, chaos, whatever. But like, if we did throw a party in there, it could be epic. And then like, you just have to clean up the party room, I guess, is kind of my thing. Like, as opposed to our own houses. I don't know how we do seating in there. Like, I think you and I definitely need like our own chairs, but I want to have guest seating too. Not that there's going to be a lot of guests or whatever, but like family for sure. You know, close friends, whatever. Given the nature of the room and its hidden nature, like, I'm going to say you, me, and family. And we keep its, you know, location not like a total secret or whatever, but like it's not obvious where that shit is. Hopefully we have enough land to kind of hide it too. It would be cool to, you know, have our cabins be like a mile apart or something like that, maybe a half mile apart. And then in between the two cabins at a midpoint, we pick a hill and make this thing. And give it its own fucking, you know, solar and all that shit. Like, I want to have this thing where like it has its own Starlink and solar and, you know, TVs with Amazon sticks or whatever. It's literally a doomsday bunker. It's kind of a shitty one, but like, really, how good a one do we really need? I'm not expecting to get bombed, My thought with this place is mostly that, like, I would definitely build it to where there was some place to sleep in there, at least for an emergency. And, if it was raining fire outside, it would be safer in this place than it would be in the house. And then the guns are always safe. And this is kind of my other thought is I like to have sex, and I don't like people I have sex with to see my guns. Usually, unless we get real tight, like, and then I start like buying them their own guns and shit because that's me. I don't know. That's, I would like to have a bedroom that was relatively normal-ish looking, and I imagine that Blazer probably would like to have a fucking girl over at some point. And like, this is the thing is I like living this way, surrounded by weapons and armor and all that shit. Like, I'm not going to stop that. At this point, I'm just waiting for the world to catch up with me. This is, reality now. The American empire has fallen. If we're going to keep our way of life, we're going to have to fight World War III. If we don't fight World War III, America will never be the same. This is, this is the thing that they presented us with. Justify your existence. I really want to fight China. I would love to rub the fucking smug look off those little bastards' faces. And that's mostly I've I've experienced Chinese people up close many times. And I don't mean like Asian people. I mean Chinese citizens. And I don't like them. I don't like them, at least because the ones that I've met got out of China to go to school or whatever because they were fucking high party members and they want their elite to be educated in foreign places. They hate us. They hate our way of life. They hate me. They hate you. This is in a nutshell why you should be preparing for war. This is why I don't really give a shit about too much other than what I can carry on me right now because I don't know what's going to happen in 5 months. That's why I looked at the things I could prepare for and went, pocket knives. I know that seems ridiculous, but I haven't bought one in forever, really. I bought, in the last year, I bought one pocket knife. Like when I sold my car, I bought a Buck 110 light, and I modified it in my shop before I sold some tools. That's the only thing I bought. With $26,000, that's the only pocket knife I bought. I bought a handful of fixed blades because I wanted some and needed some and saw a couple that I liked that were reasonable. K-bars mostly. Cold steel Bushmans I've gotten into lately. Okay, but that's, all I had bought until like a couple weeks ago when I started spending money on pocket knives like it was going out of business. And I bought a sword. Actually, I bought two swords. I bought a cold steel gladius machete, which I would consider to be somewhere between a sword and a machete. And then I bought a cold steel shamshir, which is a scimitar. Basically, it's as close to a scimitar as you're ever going to get. Scimitar isn't really a real sword. What you would call a scimitar is what I bought. But my main thought on this is basically that I'm not going to be a part of their society at best. I'm going to have my own land and be building a cabin. At worst, I'm going to be roaming the desert in my minivan. And if that's the case, I needed multi tools and I needed pocket knives. I just did. I was looking at what I had and it was not sufficient. Did I need everything I bought? No, I bought a couple of things I didn't need. I spent $40 on a cold steel SR1, and that was to see if it would work or not for a pocket knife for me, and it's not sufficient. And one second. The reason I say it's not sufficient is that its locking mechanism dings up its edge no matter what you do. I'm on my second one now from Amazon. I would like to send them both back, but I don't think that's really an option. I did the thing where they send you a new one before you send back your return. I think I'm going to keep one of them just as an example. It's fun to play with, and it's a cool knife, even though its edge gets dinged up. It's just disappointing. The multi-tools I bought, I think I made perfect selections. The Leatherman rebar was cheap and very capable. The Skeletool RX and Victorinox Farmer X were a waste of money, really. That was $200 worth of pocket knives. However, they are now the ones in my purse. So I don't think it was that much of a waste. I really wanted more capabilities, and that gave it to me. We're not done with that yet. I'm going to get a bit driver set for the Skeletool and a pouch to keep that shit in. And I figure the Skeletool with a bit driver and the Victorinox Farmer X, that's a really good set of tools. Aside from that, I don't know how I'm going to go main blade wise. I've found options that are fixed blades. I've found options that are balisongs. I've found options that are folders. I think I might just have a bunch of options. But I do kind of want to pick a couple and buy multiples. I want a knife that I can keep in my pants pocket, and if I lose it, it's not a big deal. And to me, that is where the CRKT Katana Minimalist might come in. I saw Flytanium makes scales for those now. And the scales are $20, the knife is $30. So it's a $50 knife. And it's cool. And I like pocket fixed blades. I'm definitely getting one of those. I don't know if it's going to be the knife yet. I don't know if I'm going to have a the knife. I might have just like I said, a selection. Depends on what it's for. And I'm getting that and a balisong. And I think I'm going to get an open L too. I don't really need an open L, but I want one. I haven't had one in forever. I was going to get one of the smaller ones. I was looking at them, and like of the smaller ones, like number 2, number 3, number 4 are all basically the same price. So I think I'm going to get number 4. I don't know. I might spend a little bit more and get a open L with a locking mechanism, because that's kind of the reason to get an open L, isn't it? Like, I think the locking mechanism is the cool part. It would be cool to have one of the little penny knives too. That's what the open L's without locks remind me of. In the 1700s, an open L without a lock on it was called a penny knife, and they were a common trade or barter item. That was, if someone had a pocket knife back then, that's what they had. People would be fucking amazed by the spaceships we carry in our pockets today. Any Leatherman or any Victorinox would blow people in the 1700s away. I've been looking a lot at some kukris from Nepal too, and I've been watching documentaries and looking at pictures of those people, and like it's crazy to me that there are people in the 21st century that look like that and live like that. Like they look like peasants out of like a medieval movie. It's crazy. I'm going to be buying a shitload of stuff from them as soon as I get a couple of more things that I want uh, that are U.S. production or shit like that. CRKT. I don't know where it's made. I think once the pocket knife buying spree is over, there's going to be a slight kukri buying spree, followed by, every once in a while I'm going to spend a couple $100 ordering something cool from these guys. I like what they do. I like their prices, and I would like to support that shit. The Nepalese commies that make the blades are the lowest level of Nepalese society. They're considered worse than like criminals and shit. It's a caste system or something. It's interesting. I had go to Tibet on my bucket list, and I kind of crossed that out because Tibet is owned by the Chinese. I think I'm going to substitute Tibet for Nepal. I really want to go see where these things are made someday. Not that we'll ever be able to internationally travel without a fucking vaccine again. God damn, this weed sucks. I have like the cheapest weed on earth, and I've been smoking it pretty much nonstop for a couple weeks. Oh, it blows. The the kukri place I like is the Gurkha Kukri House. It's KHHI. Let me find the real website. There's so many of these fuckers that like try to rip each other off or whatever. This is the real website. It's the THE Kukri. That's KHUKURI House HOUSE.com. That's the real one. There's a bunch of fake ones. I've ordered shit from them in the past. I really am a big fan of their blades. They are not the highest end kukris you can get. They can make some pretty high end shit if you want it. But the thing that I like about them is that they are the ones that sell the kukris to the Gurkhas. So they make some versions that are legit. This is what is being issued, and it is pretty cheap. I like that. The one I like the best is the Jungle Training or the Service number 2. Same knife. I kind of want to get a bigger one this time. I haven't had a bigger one before. And the Jungle one, there's 10 inches. I was looking at some that are like 12 or 13. Might be badass. I was also looking at getting one of their short swords. It's the Chitlanji. It's like a 15-inch, much lighter, skinnier kind of. It's a fighting sword. Like it's a short sword. I was thinking about getting one of those eventually. They make Rambo knives too, and the Rambo knives are fucking bitching. And they make a Marine Corps like K-bar fighting knife too. It's kind of bitching too. Like they make some custom shit that I'm like, I'm getting that. I'm thinking about doodling some shit and sending it to them and having them make it. So I'm pretty sure that's how they got some of those designs. Like I would love to send them some designs to make. It would be cool to send them pictures of the knife that Matt Freeman and I designed together. I told him what I wanted and told him to go nuts. And he asked a couple of different things as input here or there, but like he made the thing. I told him what to do. We got a very interesting product at the end of it. It was a MacV SOG buoy kind of a thing. It was pretty bitchin'. I sold that knife for $1,000, and I don't regret that. I paid $300 for it, and it was after he died, and my buddy Matt would have told me to sell that bitch because I used it to buy fucking knife making tools. $1,000 for any blade is crazy money. That was some of his legit best work he ever did. Made at the height of when he was doing it. And I have good taste. And like this is, you know, the thing that I would like to help these people with eventually is like, if they'll design shit for me, I'll fucking try to sell it. And I'm pretty good at that. Like, the thing that I ran into knife making was that I can't physically make enough knives to sell enough to support myself. It would be pretty bitchin' to order giant fucking crates of this shit and just have a store here that sold it. You know, do gun shows maybe, have a website maybe. Although, like, if it's on the website, like, I guess, you know, you could have it shipped faster if it's in the US, and then you could have, you know, this is the exact one you're getting. I don't know. It would be cool to be a dealer for them, basically. I don't know how you'd do that, but if they would sell you, you know, 10% off for dealer or whatever, and then you could add 25% in the US, that would be, you know, people only paying 15% over markup or whatever. Or figure out what the percentage is with the shipping so that they're paying roughly the same amount, maybe a little bit less than they would pay to order it from Nepal, and they get it in hand today and they get to see it before they buy it. And like, this is my thing is, you'd think a kukri store wouldn't do very good. It would depend on where you put it. I'd put it in Springfield, Missouri. I would put it across the street from Bass Pro. That's not a bad idea. Blazer, we should do this shit. We don't sell every knife in the world or whatever. Like, we sell a handful of things that I like and the whole line of Kukri House. Maybe a handful of things that you like too. We should really start a fucking knife shop, man. It's all the advantages of like a gun store, but like none of the fucking hassles or paperwork or any of that bullshit. And like, we do gun stores, we do gun shows and advertise. We, you know, go around to where knife people are and advertise. Go to camping things or whatever, and shooting things and hiking things. Anything where people are in the outdoors, people like knives. We could be those weird kukri guys. But hear me out though, is like an outdoors tool, it is a near perfect tool. And this is why the Ozarks is full of people that are into bushcrafting and shit. 100%. And if not, there's a bunch of people that go there that want to be into it. Imagine having a store that was selling kukris to people going into like national forests and shit. Wouldn't that be awesome? I get to have capers and adventures and chase Yogi Bear. Half of the reason that I'm putting a high priority on ordering a bunch of shit for myself from Nepal is I don't know how much longer those people are going to be free to make blades. I think war's coming to Central Asia pretty fucking quick, probably. Unless India and China get real peaceful, which they're looking like they might be. I don't know. It's weird. China and India have no reason to like each other whatsoever. In fact, India definitely shouldn't be friendly with China. And like that's not a concern for us. That's a concern for the Indians. Um, if they go buddy buddy with China like that, it's only a matter of time until they get taken over. China's gonna start wanting to put influence and shit on them that they're not gonna like. I don't know. I worry for the Indian people. Although these same people have been making fucking kukuris for fucking centuries now, so they'll probably still be making them. It's just, will we be able to buy them or not? Right now, there's shit in place where it takes like 30, 40 days to get the shit, but you can get it. It would be dope to find something like this where you could get a supply of this shit consistently, bring it here, market it, and make more money and make them more money too. Like, I don't know how you do that, but like, after seeing how those people live and whatever, and how dedicated they are to knives, and like, I've been looking for something. Maybe I can sell kukris. I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna start ordering a bunch of them, saving up money, and I'm gonna order like a couple $1,000s worth of this shit because I want $1,000 of it. And I figure if I order twice that, if they don't sell well, then I only have to sell half of what I have because I wanted half of it. But yet on the table, I can look like I'm a big deal. And I actually think that like if you price these correctly, they'd move. I bought one. The first one I ever bought was at Wanamaker Gun Show when I was like 15, 14, somewhere in there. I all the way at one end of it, there's some guys sitting up in there's an area of Wanamaker that's a Saturday setup area, and there's a lot of knife people that set up there. So I always go through that area, and they had a whole fucking pallet of these. And at that time, I bought a jungle training because I was already looking at this website thinking about ordering one. And I knew the price; they were $35, and I paid $100 for it at Wanamaker. And the reason was there was an unknown wait time from Nepal. You didn't exactly know the quality of what you were going to get. I got to see exactly what I was going to buy, and I paid $100 for a $35 kukri. I did that. Currently, that same kukri is $69. I would say that's a $200 kukri these days. And this is kind of my thoughts. Is like I'm gonna have a table out at the gun show and just order 20 or 30 of these things and set up shop and start selling them. Somebody will be interested. Maybe I'll just make this my new weekend hobby or something. It's better than doing nothing. It would be fucking dope to be selling kukris for a shit ton of money. The thing is, if you got the dealership thing with them and they cut you in a little bit, like they sold to you for 10% less or something, I would hate to do that to them though. Like I said, if anything, I would like to get them more money. I think the product that they make is worth. Like I said, if I could have the one that I had when I was a kid today in hand, I would pay $200 for it easy. Maybe more. I don't know. I uh, I would hate to stick people that much, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to make something. And with gun show prices being the way they are, but like that's half of the thing is gun shows are dying. I don't know. I might just start doing this on Instagram because, like, if I buy these and then look through them and fix anything that's wrong with them, that might be the money. You know, need to start a new Instagram page or something for that. I would rather not have it associated with my old Instagram presence. We'll get fucking shadow banned. Which kukri would you want if you were going to order from that website? I think that's a good question to end this on. Like, go look through the kukrihouse.com and kukri, kukuri, I don't know. I like the spelling that they use, which is Khukuri, the kukrihouse.com. I would especially look through their KHHI Bowie section. That's where the Rambo knives were, and those were pretty bitchin'. They make three different ones, and I don't like the Rambo 3 knife. I never did, but they make one that is like their version of a Rambo 1. I like that. And they make one that is like the knife that they think that Rambo should have. And it has like JG10 grips, so it looks like a fucking Asian Buddha statue kind of thing, and it's crazy. I love that one too. Like, there's legitimately 4 or 5 knives that they make that are over $100 that I'm just planning on buying now. I don't know when. Like, I don't have money to do that. I might pick the best of those and order one and order a couple of smaller things to go with it. I could probably afford to save up and do that. Oh, but the thing is with shipping and shit, even that's like $300 worth of shit. Like, to order a couple $1,000s worth of knives, it's several $100s to have them shipped. So you'd have to work that into prices too. The cool part is to ship one knife, it's like 35 or $40. To ship a whole pallet full, it's like 200. So that builds you in some profit right there, because most people aren't looking at that price as $70. They're looking at it as 110, 105, somewhere in there. So like, I think you could easily tag on another 10, 20 bucks selling them here in the US. And like I said, I personally think that's worth at least $200. At least the one that I had before was. It was 5160, had a great edge. They make really good products. If you've never had a kukri, I'd highly recommend one. And on that note, I think I'll cut this off here. I'll see you guys later.